Yumi Cells is a South Korean television series directed by Lee Sang-yeon and starring Kim Go-yoon and Bo Hyun, Jin-young, Lee Woo-bi and Park Ji-hyun. It is based on eponymous Web-toon. It is a cell-based psychological romance that unravels the daily life of an ordinary office worker Yumi through the eyes of the cells in her head. The series premiered on TVN on September 17. The last episode of Season 1 was aired on October 29. Yumi, Kim Go-yoon, is an ordinary office worker. The story frequently switches setting between Yumi's real life and inside her mind, where cells represent each of her emotions and drives. Her love cell is in state of coma after a failed relationship. The series will trace her growth and change as her brain cells wake up the love cell. Desire is what sets Yumi Cells apart from the personified emotions featured in the 2015 Pixar animation Inside Out, according to Lee. Let's see what happens in the Web-toon. Inside Yumi, a 32-year-old office worker, lives thousands of tiny blue-hooded cells that control her every mood, thought, and action. Yumi likes her younger colleague, Woo. A lot of things prevent her from pursuing him, like being insecure about her age and her love rival, Ruby. Though, Yumi Cells are willing to do anything for Yumi's happiness. Wook seems to be interested in her too, wanting to talk to her and go out with her. Yumi becomes overjoyed at the thought that he would confess his love, but it's all a setup for him to ask her if she wanted to go on a blind date with his friend. Yumi also finds out that he is not into girls, and has someone he is already interested in. So she never had a chance. Yumi becomes depressed over this, and her blind date with Wook's friend, Woo, seems to be a total bust. As Yumi becomes more and more stressed, she faints, and Woo carries her and runs to a nearby hospital. He buys Yumi a frog hoodie while she is in bed so she can later change out of her hospital clothes. She warms up to him from the unexpectedly cute gesture, and thus begins their relationship. Yumi and Woo build a strong relationship and become very attached to each other. However, one source of constant turmoil in their relationship is Woo's longtime friend and co-worker, Saya. She creates insecurity and misunderstanding in her attempts to gain more control over Woo. A result of her own fickle and manipulative nature, issues with relationships and inability to let go of Woo. Woo, being Woo's sensible and quick-witted best friend, is often the one to bring Woo back to his senses when he notices something is off. Yumi also does not fall far behind in standing up to Saya. Over time, it is established that Yumi's priorities have shifted to place her partner at the top, but Woo has never wavered in his top priority being himself, which is the deciding factor in the eventual breakup. Their relationship hits a rough patch when Woo begins having a hard time at work but refuses to confide in or rely on Yumi for anything. Sometime during this period, Yumi is reminded of her desire to get married and brings it up with Woo. But he does not share the same wish. His game studio had been unsteady and recently went under. He had been living in the office on a couch, and isn't sure if he can keep supporting himself financially without her help. His pride is the straw that breaks their relationship's back. And so when Yumi throws out a proposal to break up based on her uncertainty about their future, he agrees, thinking that would be best for the both of them. Yumi does not learn of his reasonings until later on. Meanwhile, Yumi fell in love with her co-worker Bobby. But things didn't work out well with them either. Eventually she finds the love of her life soon rock, and they get married, and that's how the Web-toon ends. In the drama, Season 1 was ended with the breakup with Go Woo. Let's wait and see what happens in Season 2. The Season 2 is expected to be aired in mid of 2022.